We are in Acts chapter 3 today, and as I was reading this chapter, I was really stuck on the very beginning of the chapter where it talks about how Peter and John were on their way to the temple for prayer. And along the way, a man was at the temple gates and he was begging, and he was a man that had been lame from birth. And he was begging for provision. He was begging for finances. And they stopped and they said, you know what? We don't have finances to give you, but we will give you what we do have. And in those moments, they began to speak life and healing through the power of the Holy Spirit over this man. And he was restored and he was healed that day. And not only did he begin to tell the story of what God did that day, but it says in the story that people were filled with amazement because of what God had done. And what really stood out to me is that, you know, these two, Peter and John, were on their way to prayer that day. And, you know, they could have easily just kept going. But instead, they were sensitive to the Holy Spirit. And they saw a moment that God wanted to use them. And they partnered with the Holy Spirit that moment. And somebody's life was transformed. So today, church, let's walk that road on our way wherever we're headed. Let's walk the road being sensitive to the Holy Spirit and saying, God, where do you want to use me in people's lives? How can I partner with you in what you're doing? Love you, church.